What's up, YouTube? I just want to give a shout out to Saving Bread, the #1 leaderboard player on Attack on Titan Revolution. And just wanted to give you a heads up. If you wanted to get right into the gameplay questions, skip to 11 minutes 22 seconds, and that'll be the gameplay questions. And if not, then go ahead and enjoy the interview from here on out. Enjoy, and don't forget to check him out on YouTube. All right, so you good to get right into it?
Yeah, sure.
All right, cool. And you go by saving, or what do you like to go by?
Well, I go mainly by saving, but people, for some reason, just call me Brad when they don't know me. I guess it's easier, but
Because I noticed your Discord username is Saving Dead.
in
So,
Roblox, my name is having Brad, so people just call me Brad.
what's the inspiration for your username?
Well, back in, I think, 2014, I just thought of a name for my Minecraft account, and I came up with saving that, and I stuck with that since then.
I see. It's cool. All right, so let's get right into the question. First question is, what are the primary objectives in Attack on Titan Revolution?
As of now, it's progression. You will have to play different difficulties to advance your equipment and to upgrade them, and also try to getting rare stuff like the Attaxium is the most wanted item in the game right now because it will make you it makes you able to shift into a Titan, obviously. So I guess there's a lot of luck involved in this game and a lot of grinding.
All right, cool. Are there different game modes available?
Not right now, but there will be different ones. Soon there will be raids. I can't tell how they're gonna be because I don't even know. But they're also gonna be a wave game mode, and they're gonna add a permadeath game mode.
Oh, interesting. That sounds pretty cool. All right, so how do you suggest going through the skill tree?
Depending on your family you obviously have to change your skill tree. If you have a family that does not have healing powers like shift or regeneration, in the defensive one, I would always go the right path because there's a skill called emergency relocation, which heals one injury, but for like exchange of 30% of your health, which is pretty good because you get a lot of health anyway, and you get a lot of injury reduction chance. So basically, your first 2 injuries you get, you actually don't get them. You just ignore them. So even if you have offensive one like Aggerman, you can still just survive and ignore a lot of injuries.
I see. Are you able to get every single skill, or is there like a cap for that?
If you're prestige 3, you have the max amount of level 175. So you can almost max out the whole tree, but if you have a legendary clan like Aggerman, you can't get all the special moves and the full tree. You have to sacrifice one of them.
Oh, I see. And what is your skill tree looking like? Almost all complete?
Wait, how am I have it all completed basically, but well, I got the support and defensive one completed, and in the offensive one, I'm missing the last 2 because they are not important.
Ah, I see. Do you think they're also gonna add more skill items to the skill tree?
What do you mean by that?
Will they add more, basically add more to the skill tree in future updates, maybe?
Well, I hope so, but I have no info about that. I would like to, because right now I think that's not really a lot of different skill combinations you can use in the game. It's pretty similar, I'd say. And you don't have a big range of choosing because they're not really balanced. Everybody knows Lethal Tempo is the best one in the game right now when you don't have a legendary clan, and just everybody goes for that.
I see. All right, and how do perks work?
Well, perks are passive sort of abilities you can equip, and to get all perk slots, you have to skill it in your skill tree. For example, if you go to the support side and the defensive side, you can see that after a certain amount of skills you have put in, you get a perk slot. And these come in different rarities as well, from common to legendary. And depending on the perk you have, it makes it easier to grind in the game. So one example is Exhumation. It's a legendary support perk. and it refills your gas when you kill a Titan, so you basically never have to refill if you're fast enough.
Wow, that's a strong perk. I didn't even know that was in the game.
It's pretty good. It's actually really unbalanced right now. I think it's still too OP and still has to be nerfed.
I see. And in terms of gathering these perks, is it through the market or like exactly?
Well, you can buy perks through the market. The market changes, so it's pretty random which perks are there, but I would not recommend buying them because they're really expensive, and if you just play the game for a while, you get them anyway. I have around 30 or 40 legendary perks, and I only gathered them in the time span of 2 weeks, 100 hours of playtime, which is not a lot
I see.
when it comes to rare stuff.
That's cool. All right. How does prestige work?
Prestige, basically, you have to reach your maximum your maximum level in the game. If you prestige 0, your maximum level will be 100, and your XP bar has to be full as well to be able to prestige. So, but the next time you want to prestige, you have to be a level 125, and then 150. But the problem with that being is that every time you reach your previous max level, let's say you prestige 1 and you are level 100, you almost need double the amount of experience you already needed to get to the next max level, if that makes sense.
I see. And what are the advantages to being prestige?
Well, a higher level cap, so you have more skill points to put in your skill tree. And you also get a memory, which basically a memory is also another passive ability you have, but they're more complex. For example, the best one in the game right now is Flash Step, which gives you iframes when you dash away with, I think, space. I don't have it right now personally, but it's really good.
So it's a more busted version of a trait that you can use in the game.
It's almost like a perk, but a dominant one that you don't have to switch out.
Ah, I see. And how many can you equip?
Well, each prestige you get 1 memory, so with 3 prestiges right now in the game, you can have 3 memories.
I see. That's cool. All right. And how do artifacts work?
Artifacts are items that gives you buffs. You get them by completing certain achievements in the game. For example, for the crown, you have to do what's it called? You have to complete 5 different achievements that range from really simple ones to complex one, like supremacy. You have to beat all modifiers on Aberrant, which most people struggle with, but once you get the artifact, you keep it forever and they give you buffs. I don't know if I said that already.
So basically, you're supposed to complete tasks for instance, for the crown, you're supposed to complete certain tasks to acquire the crown.
Certain achievements.
I see. And what is the best way to manage upgrades?
I think the best way to manage upgrades is dependent on how good you are at the game. Because a lot of people will either struggle with doing enough damage by either not being fast enough, or they run out of gas, so they just would have to skill that, so they have an easier time moving around. But if you're really good at the game, I would advise to just have your ODM damage always maxed before you upgrade other stuff, because it will just make the game a lot more easier if you can one-shot Titans.
I see. What do you suggest buying from the market if you suggest anything?
Depends on what your goal in the game is. You have to choose either to wanting to be strong or wanting to be rich. If you want to be rich, you should just buy, I guess, cosmetic crates with gems, because they will maybe go higher in value. But the same argument goes for perks and other stuff, which could be really valuable for some people who want to be stronger. But if you want to be stronger in the game, I would recommend just buying spins, unless you already have legendary legendary family.
And what does the prestige scroll do?
The prestige scroll is an item to re-roll your memory once you prestiged. It does not prestige you, and it doesn't help you prestiging. It's just so you can re-roll the passive ability you have.
And how did you get so high on the leaderboards?
I grinded by my ODM gear for 1.5 weeks, and I played for 14 hours actually sometimes even longer. And basically, I played Aberrant without any modifiers and just took. How to explain this? Basically, I played Aberrant missions that took me 2 minutes and 40 seconds for 14 hours straight every single day until I got the serum, which almost half the time I needed.
I see. And the serum is the thing that allows you to transform into a Titan.
The serum is the attack serum, which is the only one in the game right now. And yes, it only makes you able to shift into attack turn.
I see. Would you recommend buying the battle pass?
I would recommend buying the battle pass as of now, because there is, as of today where this is recorded, there's 19 days left. And I think that's enough time to get to a really high level, because it doesn't end at tier 50. It actually goes over that infinitely until the battle pass ends. And after tier 50, you get each tier, you get around 420 gems.
And the tier 50 item for the battle pass, is that
It's a skin for the attack titan. It doesn't give you any advantage. It's just to look cool and to flex.
oh, that's cool. Is there a benefit to joining a regiment?
If you join a regiment, you get the achievement that you joined a regiment, which is useful in terms if you want to complete achievements. But you also get certain quests which give you a tiny amount of gems and experience. Sorry, not experience, honor for the regiment. But I wouldn't say that it's worth it unless you just want the achievement.
Do you have any recommended gameplay strategies?
Well, I play this game in first person unless I shift, obviously, because then I can't. But a lot of people might not like that playstyle because it's way different than a lot of people play like different Attack on Titan games. But that's how I always played those games.
What are common mistakes you see beginners make and how can they be avoided?
I see a lot of beginners not using the right perks when they get them, and also using a wrong clan and rolling away a good clan. For example, the rare one called Browse is a really good one, which gives you a potato, but because it gives you -5 health, most people don't use it. The potato is OP though, because it heals 30% of your health and is infinitely usable inside a mission. It just has a cooldown of like 40 seconds.
I see. Is there a strategy for managing health?
Well, it depends. You should just try not to get hit, obviously. You should be a lot. If you go to a Titan, you should be higher than the Titan. It makes it way easier to get to the nape. Don't try to boost to it if you're below the Titan or next to the Titan. And also, you should skill your bandages to heal certain injuries, so you have an easier time if you're early in the game.
How much different are higher level missions compared to the lower level ones?
You get more abnormal Titans and they deal more damage. But I think the biggest difference is that they react faster, they walk faster, and they turn around faster. So that you can get grabbed more easily, you can get stomped on or belly flop more easily, and you can die extremely fast if you're not careful.
Is there also different types of titans compared to the ones that I'm seeing right now, which is normal ones and the crawlers? Is there even more different versions on the higher levels?
As of now, there are not, but it is possible that on later updates they will add different titans and probably different attack patterns as well.
Any tips for completing those higher level missions?
Try to get perks. Perks in this game makes your life way easier, especially since when you prestige, you keep your perks, but you don't keep your level. So you should always, before you think about prestiging, try to get at least a lot of good epic perks so you have a really easy time.
How important is teamwork in this game?
Sadly, as of now, teamwork is really not needed at all. The problem with this game right now is balancing how hard a game is. Obviously, for a lot of players who never played this type of game, it's gonna be hard. But if you watch the anime or come and use the maneuver gear easily, you can do all missions alone pretty fast.
What race should beginners strive to get?
Like I said earlier, you should get browse if you don't have an epic one, because it gives you a potato, which is a huge buff compared to the other rare ones, which just give you like percentage in any kind of equipment. And the
Okay.
potato is really OP.
Do you have any attack combos, for example, like slashing into the eyes and then going for the back of the neck?
If you're new to the game, you should always go for the legs, not their eyes, in my opinion. Because their eyes are safer because they don't try to grab you. And once they kneel down, you can easily hook to the nape because they don't move around or because how to explain this? It's easier because it's more to the ground and more open.
What is the best special ability for beginners?
You mean like skill?
Yes.
I'd still go for the potato if you have browse. If you don't have browse and are just using a common perk, let me see. You should probably go for the hand grinder first. It's the first skill in the offensive perk tree, and it's almost always used. Even in the later difficulties, you will have it equipped.
Do you have any suggested modifiers?
If you try to play the grind for levels, I would just suggest no, what's it called, injury prone, and maybe chronic injuries. I would not recommend fog because it will make the game way harder, at least after the hard game mode.
How do you feel about the current roadmap and the status of the game currently?
I feel the roadmap is pretty open and pretty good. I disagree that the game should have PvP because I think that will split the fan base, like most games do when there is a PvP and a PvE mode. Wait, let me think. I think the updates take a long time though. I am concerned that a lot of players will be leaving the game because there are not a lot of different things you can do right now except grind for stuff.
Do you have any favorite thing that you want to see out of the roadmap?
I think wait, let me look at it again actually. Where is it?
Me personally, I'm excited to see how the permadeaths will work.
I'm excited for the stuff like they maybe do, which would be open world. I'm really excited how they maybe try to implement that if they ever gonna work on that actually. Because no other Attack on Titan Roblox game has really done that yet. And I hope they get it right because doing any kind of open world game is really hard to balance it out.
What would you like to see added to the game? Any personal wish list?
I wish they will add certain event items you can only get at a certain date, which you can't get later on, like next year. For example, certain Christmas perks maybe that give you an ability you can use, which only you can get at the time of Christmas or something like that.
I agree with you. I would like to see that. Do you have any tips and tricks regarding ODM gear?
If you are new to the game, like I said before, you should always try to be above the Titan before you start boosting to it or hooking to it. Because being above their arms is just way easier and way safer to not get grabbed.
What is the best way to deal with the Titan swarm? For instance, when there's a group of them.
Well, usually if you have a Titan swarm, they're gonna be faster ones and slower ones. Because sometimes there will be crawlers mixed to them or abnormals. And what you can do is just go away and you can see faster ones being earlier to you so you can keep them apart. If that is not the case and you just have a group of the same type of abnormals or the same speed, you can try to use your skills carefully, like for tempo, but you can also try to hit the nape from way above.
Can you discuss the upcoming game update, the next one?
I have no knowledge on what will be added, and even if I did, I could not share this information sadly. But what I can say is that it's gonna be pretty good because what they're gonna implement is a new way of playing the game, which is obviously always good. I'm just scared that they're gonna make it too easy to get rare stuff in the game because I think personally it already is too easy.
And that brings me to all my questions. Is there anything else that you'd like to share or say anything to the community?
Let me think. I would say just play the game for fun. don't grind too much because it will ruin your experience if you grind for days on end. Maybe play with friends. It's way more fun than playing alone, even if you feel like it's not. And don't be too focused on the rarity of your clans. It's not necessary and it's not even helpful that much later on in the game. That's all I have to say.
All right. And do you also another question that I want to add, but do you plan on going for number one in the leaderboards for this month as well?
No, I will retire off this leaderboard. I'm not planning on keeping my streak up or keep being number one. I think I showed the people that I'm capable of being there. I don't have to keep up this tactic just to prove people wrong.
I agree. You've proven that you're the first person to ever hit number one on the leaderboards during the release. So that shows a lot. And as before I recorded this video, you discussed that the top three may have some type of rewards in the leaderboard. So are you excited for that?
I'm actually really excited for that. I'm still waiting for that because it's what I grinded for. So obviously I hope that it's gonna be good, but I'm also hoping that they're soon gonna add the demo cosmetic because demo players have gotten a badge from the game and they should also get a cosmetic, but they still haven't worked on that, I think, or at least they still haven't finished it.
I see. And another question that comes up to mind, what special released items were given to testers during the release of the game, if there are any?
There are none. Testers haven't gotten any advantage except that they were able to play the game early. We did not get any items or spins or gems or gold. The only thing we got during the test phase was test codes, which gave us some spins, like 50 spins, but I don't think it counts as an advantage.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Saving. I appreciate all your time, and I'm pretty sure everybody else also appreciates all the insight you've given and all the help that you've given in this video.
No problem. This has been fun, and see ya.
See you next time, and hopefully we'll get to see those nice rewards. Maybe we'll do a follow-up video on that.
I hope so too.